Today we have another fan favorite of AITA, or Am I the A-hole?
That's right. It gets heated, and you're going to want to stick around to the last story because Kaila has a terrible take, and I think I won
Whoa.
AITA.
Bold. I don't think it was that terrible, so whatever.
Let's get into it. We'll get into our convo in a minute, but first, Kaila, you know I'm a huge fan of AI tools for unlocking productivity at work.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. It feels like every day you're trying out some new service. Pretty impressive fart, if you ask me.
Did you just say fart?
Fart? Oh my gosh, you're right. I meant to say feet. I don't know how that happened.
Well, clearly you didn't use Superhuman this morning because Superhuman would never let you make such an embarrassing mistake.
Ugh, you caught me. I should have used it. Superhuman's AI-powered assistant makes sure that your communications are embarrassing typo-free. But it doesn't stop there. It reviews your tone, ensures your message is clear and impactful, and even generates text for you. Superhuman helps you go from to-do to done faster.
Unleash your superhuman potential with AI that meets you where you work. You can try Superhuman today for free at superhuman.com/podcast. That's superhuman.com/podcast. Kaila, we're back with one of our favorite episodes.
So excited.
Am I the Asshole? Where we hear about potential assholes in the workplace and we decide who's an asshole and who's not.
As arbiters of assholery.
Yes, we have that. We went to school for that. Breaking news.
Yeah, majored.
Exactly. And so we got all of these stories that you're about to hear from Reddit, but we have done this episode in the past, fan favorite, and we've used user submitted stories in the past. No disrespect to Reddit. I like the user submitted stories a little more.
They're fun.
They're fun. So if you have a situation where you need me and Kaila to either come to your defense or help you decide who is the asshole in a situation, let us know per my last email at morningbrew.com. Send us an email with your workplace situation. We will decide who's the asshole and not, and you'll be featured on a future episode.
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, I can't guarantee it. If the story sucks, then we're not going to feature it. So make the story good.
Don't lie. That's not fun either.
Don't lie. But yeah, real stories. Okay. Should we get into this episode?
Yes.
All right. Story number 1 coming up. Let's do it. Okay. I, 33F, which means a 33-year-old female, work as a project coordinator. My coworker, Jamie, 26 female, joined last year and immediately started attaching her name to everything I do. If I sent out reports, she'd forward them to management with, quote, "Here's the update I compiled." If I presented an idea, she'd echo it like it was hers. Our manager once said, "You two make a great team," which stung because it's mostly me doing the heavy lifting. A few months ago, I stopped CCing her on everything. I just did my work quietly. Suddenly, upper management noticed Jamie's output dropped big time. They started asking her to provide her own deliverables. Now, Jamie's panicking. She came to me begging to back her up by saying we split the work 50-50. I told her I won't lie. I'll just tell the truth. She got emotional and said I'm ruining her reputation and gatekeeping knowledge. Our mutual friends at work think I could be kinder since she's still learning, but I'm tired of being invisible so she can look competent. Am I the asshole for refusing to cover her?
First, let me just say that it is so clear that you have a child. Based on the dramatic reading of that,
Yeah,
I'm like, you've been in those children's books.
I locked in my bedtime for sure.
Yeah, our next AITA will feature dragons and fairies. No, I think this is like an interesting one because it's pretty clear that she's not the asshole, in my opinion.
Yeah, the main character.
The main character. And it sounds like Jamie, this 26-year-old female, is taking credit for her work, obviously, not great, and kind of riding on her coattails. Now, I think the approach is what's going to matter the most. Like how you tell the truth is going to like label you the asshole or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll go further.
Oh.
Jamie.
Yeah.
26F.
Huh?
Total asshole.
Total.
If someone emailed management with something I did and said, "Here's the report I compiled," like it's fighting time.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that isn't even like saying, "Hey, me and this other person worked on it," or like forwarding and they know it's part of a team. That's literally taking credit for something that you didn't do.
Had nothing to do.
And it sounds like Jamie's whole game at work is just to be like, how do I take credit for other people's work and have management have the perception that I'm valuable. So I think the main character here is doing everything right. Like, you're not getting CC'd. You're not taking credit for my work. You're going to have to earn your own reputation here. And if you can't do that, then too bad, so sad.
Yeah. Also, like, be kinder because she's still learning. Like, this girl is 26 years old.
Well, I think the still learning part, that's where I'd have more empathy if she was like legitimately like, hey, I really want to learn from you. Yeah. You're doing good work. Like, can I ride shotgun? See how you do it. Like, help out on the margins. That is great. That's what you should be doing with a new coworker. That's what you should be doing with your team. Like, win together, lose together. The thing that crosses the line is then taking objective credit for something you did not do. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
The coworkers might be assholes too. Be kinder.
Yeah, what the heck?
She's stealing all the credit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a scenario where you've been like, like someone be taking my credit?
I will redact any response that I have. No, not anything that I'm willing to talk about here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
What about you?
I feel like I've been in situations where there is someone who, like, their job is compiling, let's say. So, like, it feels like they're not doing any of the work. They're just, like, messaging the work.
Right.
And that's where I think a lot of people get very frustrated. In this case, I don't think it's about, like, I'm taking credit for someone else's work, but, like, your whole job just seems to be, like, compiling and sending. And some people are really good at that, where, like, they're adding context, they're getting stakeholder buy-in, they are, like, moving the project forward. I think that's good. I do see a lot of frustration with people when there is someone that is simply just copy, paste, send, and getting more credit than they deserve. Right. And I think that's a frustrating position to be in.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. And, like, I've definitely been in a situation where I'm like, oh, this person is doing their job, which is compiling or whatever, coordinating, managing a project. And it's like, I think there's this expectation of some level of humility at work where it's like, if you say, I launched, I did, everyone's like, ugh, like you're telling me you did it all by yourself? Right. Like, I'm currently a team of one and I still message people using we, you know? Like, even though it's like, it's just me, like, because it just feels weird to be like, oh, well, I just achieved blah, blah, blah.
Right.
No, we as a company just achieved blah, blah, blah.
All right. Well, maybe that's another episode where we talk about taking credit for
perhaps I need to work
yours.
on that. Yeah. But yeah, I do think in this situation, what I would do if I felt like this person was blatantly taking my stuff, and if I'm not the manager, if I'm a true coworker, is I would bring the manager in, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the manager should be involved almost immediately from that first, I compiled this send. Like, I would be like, no, you didn't. And I would have a one-to-one conversation with my manager. Like, yeah, hey, Jamie just sent this to upper management. She didn't do anything. I'm a little concerned.
She's taking credit, yeah.
Right. And so the only thing that I would say that the poster is in the wrong about is not bringing it up sooner.
Yeah.
Because if this was a concern for a while, for months, and you've just been taking it, like, that's also a problem, because then everyone's like, whoa, we didn't even know that this was happening.
Yep.
Or, oh, we didn't even know this was bothering you. And so I think once you see the problem, identifying it, and yeah, if it's a minor problem, not saying something until like the second or third time. Mm-hmm. But if it's been happening for months, people gotta know, you know?
And or pull her aside the first time you see it and say, hey, like, you're on our team and I want to win together as a team, but I want to make sure that the proper people are getting credit, me or you, whoever's doing the work. You sent this email and you said, like, you did the report. I did that report. Like, what's going through your mind
why would you
when you send that?
Yeah.
And let's make sure that we're all on the same page. The last thing I'll say about this story, and I liked what you talked about in terms of, like, project management, giving other people credit. I do think that is what maybe separates a great compiler from someone who's maybe a little more annoying to other people. Is they're there to, like, it is work to gather all the bits, organize them, provide more context, but they're there to support and to heap praise on the people that are doing the work that they're compiling. I love working with those people. It's the people that are trying to take more credit than they deserve to take that is frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. So should we go to the second one?
Let's do it.
This bothers me every year, and every time it happens, it makes me wonder a little if I, female 30s, single, am the asshole. I work at a gifting company, and we are always busier than usual during the holidays. The routine would be for our department to stay after work to help the packing department pack gifts because we have mountains of gifts to pack, all labeled differently, and things are very confusing and disorganized. This isn't compulsory nor paid. We voluntarily show up. That's how it is. I usually do maybe 1 to 2 packages and then leave on time, not willing to spend more time doing free work. My colleagues from my department and others give me dirty looks whenever I do that because it means one less helper and that they will go home later. And I'm the only one who consistently does this. I don't care much because I stand firm on the point that I work for how much I am paid for. Yesterday, one of my colleagues asked me to stay because she couldn't. She needed to bring her children somewhere. I told her that since it's voluntary work, she could leave as soon as we are off duty. She said that if she did, everyone else would have to stay later and that it would be her fault. I told her again she was free to leave just like me, and I left anyway. I came to work today with the same dirty looks from my colleagues, and one of them told me that because of my selfishness, everyone, including the colleague who wanted to leave, had to stay back until 8 p.m. The colleague broke her promise to her children because it was very late. Packing gifts for another department is not my job, nor am I paid for the evening hours doing it, so why should I stay? I have avoided doing this for the past few years and I am still hired, so this isn't against any company rules. Am I the asshole?
Ooh, we went on a journey.
Ooh, okay.
Also, the female single.
What? Yeah.
I don't think that.
I didn't know Reddit was a dating site.
I don't
What's
think that
happening here?
That was unnecessary information. But some additional context. This one's tough. I have more questions. I think overall, like, you're not the asshole for sure. Like, particularly working late in the evenings. This woman breaking promises to her children, that bummed me out. Don't do that. I'm curious about like how this person's pay is structured. If it's hourly, if it's salary, if it's like in your description of your job, it's like any other duties as assigned. Like saying like this isn't my job. I hear you. It might not explicitly be your job, but it tends to be something that's like, if you're helping the company, it can be considered your job. And I do think if it is like everyone is doing this, then it is a little more okay. I do think the company should be rewarding people for working until 8 p.m. And the getting dirty looks, it just feels like maybe everyone is doing it and you're not. I don't know. I have more questions here.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I think that, first of all, I would give everyone in this story light asshole.
Okay, interesting.
I think everyone is acting. First, it is, if it's truly not in their job description and they are paid hourly, that is the one. I think if they're paid hourly, then like, yeah, you should be getting paid for this.
Right.
If they're not, it's salary. I think it's a little bit more gray area, but I think they're in the right to say this is not in my job description. And I think the other employees are in the right for being annoyed, for being like, why aren't you helping? Everyone else does it. But the big asshole, the asshole to rule them all,
corporate America,
is the company. Yes. Because why is the company requesting and expecting and setting a culture of expectations for everyone to like voluntarily help out?
Yeah.
When the reality is it's a gifting company. Every year, this is no surprise.
They're like December comes around, they're like, oh shit, we got so many gifts. Oh my God, October wasn't like this.
We can't possibly pack and ship all these gifts. Well, newsflash, it's the gifting season. This is probably the time that subsidizes the rest of the year for you. Right. And for you to be like, we need everyone to voluntarily help and pack is absurd.
Feels very reactive. But I think, like, I agree. Company asshole. Why aren't they like, hey, here's the deal when you work for this company.
Right.
There tends to be seasons where more people send gifts. This shouldn't be news to you. Let's just take December. Like, that's our main season. When December comes around, it's all hands on deck. That means, like, coming in early. It means staying late. Like, we're one team, one dream. We have to get these gifts out. That subsidizes the rest of the year. Right. The rest of the year, here's what we're going to do to make up for that. You get a week off in July.
Yeah.
You get a week, we have unlimited PTO. Like, make this part of the contract you sign when you join this company. Then I think you actually have a great opportunity for like kind of team bonding, like one team, one dream mentality. When it is so reactive, some people aren't doing it. Some people feel pressure to do it. They're telling you it's voluntary work that you're not paid for. That's the wrong framing. Like, they've just set this up for a disaster. So I agree. The real culprit here, as it normally is, corporate America.
Yeah. I think in this situation, if I was in the poster's position, like I would stay. You know, like I find that hard to hold those boundaries.
Yeah.
And I do think it sounds like they're not really like approaching it correctly, especially if somebody's like, hey, I really don't want everyone else to suffer, and like I have this, you know, obligation to my kids. Now this person could have also left, you know, like everyone messed up, guys. Everyone messed up, and I don't like this situation at all. I think every single thing should have been different. Seen.
Well, I do feel like in the worst version of this story for the poster, it's like one of those things where like occasionally you have to stay late at work, or like I'm thinking Morning Brew Inc. Like we have events. Events team has to get there at like 6 a.m. on days of events. Like that's crazy. They have to get up super early. Like. But that's kind of like we have to make it work. Mm-hmm. And there's other ways to then like reward that team for abnormal hours. The Morning Brew Daily Show people, they're getting up at 4 a.m. Yeah. They go to the gym at 9 a.m. Like you can make it so it like over time is fair. And so I would worry that this person is like the colleagues feel like they're abandoning them in like a very busy time. And if the company has made it fair in other times, you're just kind of like leaving your colleagues to the side. You know, that would be the worst case for the poster. It doesn't sound like that is the case. If I was them, I would go to management and be like, hey, this keeps happening every year. Yep. You guys know we're a gifting company, right? Like this is going to happen next year too. Christmas won't be canceled. So like, can we build a system where like we get some time off earlier and we all commit to doing this together? Like that just seems like the best path forward here.
I 100% agree.
All right. Or we could blame Santa. You know?
Yeah. Let's do
Santa, like hurry, pack more gifts yourself.
Yeah. What about those elves, man?
Yeah. Put the elves to work. Crazy.
And we'll be right back after this. Okay, back to the show.
Should we move to story number 3?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I, 29F, worked for a small architecture firm for 4 years. I handled client proposals, design drafts, and managed several long-term projects. 2 months ago, the company announced restructuring, and I was laid off. It sucked, but I got severance and I started freelancing. Last week, my old boss called asking if I'd consider coming back. Oh, look, they want me now, but as a contractor, not an employee. I agreed short term just to finish the projects I'd started. Here's where it gets weird. They asked me to hand over all of my design files from the past year, including projects I did while I was freelancing, since, quote, they were based on ideas developed during employment. Those freelance projects have different clients and were done after my layoff. I refused, saying those were my intellectual property. My old boss accused me of being vindictive. That was a struggle to say, and said I was holding company work hostage. But the truth is, I only used my own drafts and skills, not their resources or clients. Now, they're threatening not to renew my contract and saying I'll, quote, burn bridges in the industry. My boyfriend thinks I should just hand them over to keep peace, but it feels like they're taking advantage. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my files?
Okay, I'm confused. I don't think I understand this one.
Same
so is this saying like I was working for this architecture firm and freelancing on the side, and they're asking me to turn over all of my stuff, including the freelancing on the side I was doing?
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, so that's weird. It feels very like, did you see Silicon Valley?
No, I'm familiar with the show.
Okay.
I haven't seen specific episodes.
The premise is basically that this guy develops a big app, and he's also working at like Google functionally.
Yeah.
And Google is like, you did this on company time. It's actually our property.
Yeah.
And they had to like prove that they like didn't use a computer, or like it wasn't done at the IP of whatever Google.
Right.
And like
I was only working on 6:01 p.m.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so I think that there's probably in your contract, you should like revisit and see like what's going on there.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of shady for the company to be like, we need all of this stuff, even though they were restructured out. Like, but I don't think, I don't know. I don't think either of them, like, I think it's in the company's right to request it and in the person's rights to say no.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely not an asshole. Yeah. I would say there's a few different ways to look at this. The first is, to your point, like your employment contract. When you sign up as a contractor, there's going to be a clause in there that like anything you create on company time with company resource is the company's.
Right.
And so like That's in there. You signed it, like, so they can request it. Whether you fulfill it, are they going to sue you? Probably not. But that is in every contract, every employment contract,
so,
essentially. So like you should make sure go investigate that. If you did this not on company time, not using company resources, when you were freelancing on the side, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you that. That's not yours. And there's no way they can get it from you unless, see above, you were using company resources or on company time. The second thing is, like, it doesn't even matter who's the asshole here. You need to sever ties with this company.
Yeah.
They sound actually crazy. I think they're the asshole here. Yeah. One, they laid you off and then immediately were like, oh, please come back, be a contractor. It sounds like they were just trying to like get
They just like didn't want to pay your health care.
Yeah. Like, they were like, you guys, we're paying health care? Hell no. Fire them. Yeah. Bring them on as a contractor. So they've already like kind of burned you once. Then they're like threatening that you're burning the bridges of the industry and like you're being vindictive. Like, I can't even say that word. So I don't think you're being vindictive. And they just seem like bad people, to be honest. And so I would be like, no, I'm not going to do this. Two, like, I don't like how you're treating me, so I'm not going to continue working for you.
Yeah.
And peace out. And I don't agree with the boyfriend, keep the peace. Like, keep the peace with a trusted third party that you have respect for. It doesn't sound like the company is that. I would get out of there.
Yeah, they haven't given you a lot of reasons to be like, they're doing this in good faith.
Yeah, there's no good faith here at all.
That I think that's totally fair. Yeah, I would just say like maybe now's the time to find a different firm.
Yeah.
Architecture firm and freelance for them or whatever. You have all these clients, it seems like maybe try to go in-house with them.
Or you corrupt all the files you're about to give them with a virus and you send them to them. It destroys their entire internal software architecture. No, I'm kidding. Do not do that.
Don't do this. Is not legal advice.
Not legal advice. And
not financial advice.
Illegal.
Not workplace advice.
No advice. No advice at all. Should we go to story 4?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I, 26F, just started a new job and work in a department with another colleague, 27F, Thea, who joined the company 2 months before me. She is currently in graduate school, and I am amazed at how she is very efficient and fast in her tasks. I noticed that Thea is always assigned complicated tasks despite being new to the company, and I wanted to join the projects that she's in so I can learn from her. Initially, Thea was fine with it, and I learned that she will implement very strict timelines in order to get things done. I had trouble keeping up, but she would tell me to just be faster next time and move on. Recently, she put up a huge whiteboard at her desk, which detailed all her meetings and tasks for the month. I was very impressed and asked her what the tasks on the board meant. She became very irritated when I asked if there was room for one more teammate, and she finally snapped and said, "Not everything with my name needs you involved." I was surprised at her hostility, and ever since then, she's been very distant and just generally difficult to work with. She won't be as helpful as before with retrieving documents that I need, implementing tougher deadlines, and will avoid me by going home earlier. I felt that she was creating an overly hostile work environment that was affecting my productivity, and felt like the right thing to do was to report her to HR. I did so after collecting some evidence, and HR said that they would talk to her. Well, the talk didn't seem to go well because now our boss has told me to stay out of her way and removed me from all the projects that involve her. Thea has even been moved to another section in the office closer to our seniors, who I've heard trying to placate her to stop her from leaving. I'm conflicted as I don't want to ruin my workplace relationships, but it was very difficult to work with her, and I did what I thought was the right thing to advocate for myself. Am I the asshole?
Wow. I want to just say empathy, kindness, compassion, all very important. I don't know the full context. But what I do know is this person did this so wrong.
Wait, which person?
The non-Thea, the main poster.
What?
Everything she did was wrong.
Everything. Oh my God. How could you possibly think that?
Let me break this down. Okay, one, Thea's just doing her job. You're not on the...
Thea sounds like a bitch.
No, not at all.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Thea's just doing her job, doing it very well. You're asking to be on projects with her. That's fine. She's like, okay, you can do that. Then you're not keeping pace. You're slowing her down. What is Thea supposed to do? She's not your manager. She's your colleague. She's supposed to now, like, you were impressed that she had a whiteboard with tasks on it. You don't keep track of what tasks you have to do? How is that impressive? Like, it sounds like this person was like, oh, I want to be Thea. I can't keep pace. Thea's like annoyed that now she has to like do her project and manage someone, which Thea's not getting paid to manage. So Thea's like, This isn't my responsibility. Stop trying to glom on all my projects. They're not assigning them to you. They're assigning them to me. And then instead of having a difficult conversation with Thea or with her boss, about like, hey, I want to work closer to Thea. I want to work on these projects. I'm not getting them assigned. Have a difficult conversation with your manager. She goes to HR, which like, where was the HR violation? That seems like way too far. And now, actions have consequences. Thea's still getting the project she's assigned because she seems to be a great worker. The senior management obviously likes her because they're assigning her the work. And now you've only ostracized yourself further from senior management and Thea. The end result is terrible for you. This was a failure at every single step.
I agree that this was a failure at every single step, but not okay. This is fascinating. The one thing that I think that the original poster did that was a problem was going to HR. I agree with that. But this girl has only been there for 2 months before you joined. What don't we know? Like there's something, she's getting all this stuff done. She's super productive and like I'm just trying to learn from her. But like, I don't know, it seems really, really quick.
To be good at your job?
No, to be like garnering so much political power. Like,
I think she just sounds like she's just good at her job.
Like it sounds like she's good at her job. First of all, Thea sounds like she's good at her job. But like I'm avoiding this woman and so I'm going home earlier so I don't have to like talk to this person.
Kayla, if you were crushing your job,
which I am, for the record.
Of course. that was a big if. I'm kidding. You are crushing your job. But if in this scenario, if you're crushing your job, random person, you don't manage them. They're not on your team. Is like,
well, I assume they're on the same team.
It doesn't sound like that.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
It feels like then it would be assigned to the team and you'd be involved in the project.
Right.
But either way, you get a project that is yours. I come up to you and I'm like, hey, can I work on this project with you? And you're like, yeah, okay, sure. And then like I'm like, how do you do this? Like, oh my God, like you're so fast. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not moving as fast as you. You're like, okay, whatever. You get another project. I'm like, hey, can I work on this project with you again? I love your whiteboard with tasks.
You're bringing up a good point.
Like, how can I be like? It's like, I don't have time for this. I'm here to do my job. I'm not paid to manage you. Yes, could Thea have been like the most empathetic manager to be persona ever and be like, I'm going to take you under my wing and teach you how to use a whiteboard and teach you how to be effective? Like, sure. But okay, then Thea needs to get rewarded for that. So like, I would be pissed if someone just kept trying to glom onto projects.
Yeah.
They weren't keeping pace. They were actually slowing me down. I'm not rewarded for helping them get up to speed. Like, of course I'm not going to do that. Of course I'm going to avoid them because it seems like they they don't have social awareness how this is like frustrating me. And then if they went to HR, that's the last time I'm like ever talking to them. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think I might be swayed slightly. I think you may have a point, but I think that the challenge is that we need more context here.
Yeah.
Like, I think I need to understand, are they on the same team? What is the nature of the assignments? Like, what are their roles, right? Like, she could be, the girl could be, the poster could be a kid. Actually, maybe they did say their age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It turns out the poster is 8 years old.
No. I mean, like maybe brand new. Like there's. I just think.
Of course, we only have the context we were provided.
Right, and in the context we were provided, I think it definitely sounds like Thea was kind of a bitch, but you have a good interpretation.
I do not accept if I feel like. Not to do a gender reversal here.
No, do not say that Thea's a woman because the original poster's a woman too.
I'm going to do it. If Thea was a man, we would not be using that term, Kayla. It just sounds like she's showing up, being excellent at her job, saying, yeah, you can join my project, but you have to keep up. They're not keeping up. And she said, okay, I'm not going to keep working with you. How is that bitch behavior?
Because I don't think that a random new person is able to be like, I'm not working with you moving forward. I don't think they can determine that.
Well, yeah, but they might, if they can't determine that, then they also can't determine who gets to work with them. And a manager should be coming in and saying, you have to work with them. That's not happening. We only have the context involved. The reason why I think the original poster, even if we got more context, would still be wrong. Nowhere in this story, at the end, did I hear, and I realized how I'm like, this might be perceived wrong, or I could have changed my behavior, or like, maybe I should have had a difficult conversation instead of going to HR. It just, this whole thing reeks of like, you have no social awareness, and now you're facing the consequences of your own actions, and you're still not realizing like where you went wrong.
Right. On account of it being a Reddit post, they probably wanted sympathy, right? Like they were probably trying to frame it in the way that is truly 100% from their angle.
Yeah.
And like, why did this happen? Like, so should I not have gone to HR and like make it sound like, no, of course you're in the right, you know, whatever. So I get that framing, but I do think that there's something that we're missing.
All right, well, we will have to go to the workplace and investigate. Little Sherlock Holmes, Watson.
Yeah, if you happen to be the poster on this Reddit, I would love to hear more information. But I just think that there's like, if it's a colleague, like I think a colleague needs to have a lot more patience for a coworker, and like that's not your problem, right? Like if you've been told you have to have this new girl like on your project, there's messing up and like it's impacting you, like you have to talk to your manager about that as well, you know, because the manager should be involved way before HR is.
I've said my piece. I'm too fired up. This was a good one.
This was a good one. Yeah.
I'm Team Thea. # Team Thea. Get it trending. Thea, if you're looking for work, you want to leave this company, morningbrewinc.com. Look at our careers.
I will say it is a little silly that she was like, she has a whiteboard with tasks on it.
Come on.
But Thea's response to that was like, well, how dare you insult me by asking but pull it up. I'm curious exactly what Thea said. I actually really want to see this because I've forgotten it now in my rage.
It's the first time we've had to go back to.
Let's go back to the text.
I'm going to be so vindicated here.
Okay.
Quote, not everything with my name needs you involved. Yes.
Something has just occurred to me.
What?
The first one and the third one very well could be the same story.
What was the first one?
The first one was the woman who kept posting, like sending the email, like, this is the stuff I've compiled. Like, do we think that the first person is Thea?
I think the first person is Thea. And
I think we just figured it out.
Team Thea.
If that is the case, I am aligned.
Yes. I know there's not winners in Am I the Asshole, but I think
you might have won.
I just won.
I'll take the L on this one. It is tough. You know what, Thea? You're not a bitch. You're advocating for yourself, and it sounds like the poster, Jamie, if they are the same.
Yeah, Jamie.
Is being a little crazy.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm glad you've come around to Thea.
I've come around.
That got us fired up. We love doing Am I the Asshole episodes. We do them once a quarter or so. So if you have your own workplace stories and you need this level of investigative journalism to break it down, per my last email at morningbrew.com. Would love to hear your stories. Would love to hear for you. Please rate and review the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get it, 5 stars. Helps us grow the show. With that being said, let's roll the credits.
Let's do it.
Our producer is Michaela Heck.
Our technical director is Uchenna Ogu.
Brittany DeTaco is our audio engineer.
And our president is Devin Emery.
This show is a production of Morning Brew.
And we'll see you next week.
Don't be the asshole, y'all.